All right, let's do this. Good morning, Sassy Nation. I think we might have actually got that right for once. Good morning, Sassy Nation. And it's on my phone, so yes, we did. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. You guys know that we have been doing all things sublimation, and I want to tell you a quick story. So, probably about 6 months ago, I ran into a guy who just kind of intrigued me. And it's because he did embroidery and he was doing things like sublimation with embroidery, right? So here was the thing. I was like, you know what? I feel like that needs to be an added layer to the Sassy Nation family. This has been pretty much 6 months in the making. Not that he ever knew about it, but I just, you know what? I needed to add them in. Let me introduce to you the Embroidery Nerds. That's right. The Embroidery Nerds are run by Jeff and Matt, and they also have Justin in there as well. If you head over to the Embroidery Nerd Facebook group, you'll find them over there. But this is for people who, do embroidery. So I sat down with Jeff and I said, so I have this idea for a tri-pack. Are you in? He's like, yes. So we made sublimation keychains that had the embroidered edge. I'm going to take you on a journey of those things. As you can see, I love all things sassy, and this actually was made by Jeff Fuller himself, him and his son Adam. So, if you know, you know. But first things first, you know who I have to thank. Let's make sure I hit the right key this morning. You know what? That's all there is to it, and that's not the right key because it's never the right key when I want it to be. Right? Don't worry about that. That's just, it's old information. That's what I wanted. There you go. Say good morning to the ladies behind the helmet. We are trying something new. We are in StreamYard this morning. So the ladies are able to come in and throw up links, all the fun stuff that they're able to do. So say good morning to the ladies. We have Jess and Cheyenne and Jody and my sister Amanda. Actually, Jody is off today. So we have Jess and Cheyenne. I'm not sure if my sister's popped in just yet, but they are behind the helm answering all your questions, throwing up the links, and hopefully we'll work out all the kinks of Nikki adding more technology because, that's always fun. So say good morning to the ladies. And as you guys know, I've been working on this whole mic thing, so now I can travel about the country when it comes to all things sassy. That is right. So they'll be, like I said, able to answer your questions and your comments in the live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to show you guys some amazing stuff this morning. That is right. Let me get finished up my setup here too. Because when let's have that quick conversation. Are you tech savvy? Yeah, no. I'm not either. It's okay. I'm trying, right? We're trying to make this a little bit more user-friendly for you guys so that you guys get to see all the amazing stuff I have to offer. So we have that. Love it. Look at me go. Okay, so let me show you some things. So like I said, this is a hat that the Embroidery Nerds, Jeff Fuller made for me. I love my hats. We actually counted my hats last night. I think I'm up to 25 different hats. But I want to show you how I brought them and myself, like it was a collide of two amazing worlds. Jeff matches my energy, and this is just an explosion of talent. So let me show you what we're going to be working on. This is a sublimated patch right here. He created this shape for me, and I just went in and made my design. So I'm going to get it nice and close for you guys. So we have that one. And of course, you all know me. I gotta love my gnomes. So I did a gnome shape for me. Why am I showing you these odd shapes? Well, there's a reason for it. And here is Nerdette herself. That's right. They call me Nerdette over there. It's kind of cute. So we have Nerdette and on my hat. But why am I showing you this? So yes, you can go to Coastal, Condi, JDS, all of the big places in the market. And yes, you can get sublimation patches. Here's the difference about going to the embroiderynerd.com. If you go to the embroiderynerd.com, they will be listing more. They will be listing their stuff, but I wanted just to make sure that I let you guys know what they're able to offer. Custom shape embroidery patches. Just epic, because that's something we're missing. And I'll tell you where this whole idea stemmed from. And it was something that is near and dear to my heart. For those who don't know, I was a volunteer firefighter in my early 20s before cancer decided that I couldn't do this anymore. And one of the things that we just couldn't find and still can't find in the industry is this guy right here. This is where it actually all started with the whole idea is I could not find a Maltese cross that I could do as a sublimated patch right here. You wonder where your humble beginnings begin? This is it. This was the journey to try to figure out how I could make this particular patch. And that's when Jeff Fuller stepped in and said, Nikki, we can do it. And I was like, yes, right? So this is what the patches look like. They have this, he has buckram in the back. Not that that matters anything to us sublimation people, but it's important because it's a nice thick patch. It's not something that, it's still very pliable, but it's quality, right? So you're going to pay a little bit more than just getting a custom or just getting a round, a square, a rectangle, the basic shapes. Heck, even the police shield is over there. But this is where it's at. Now, not only are they going to offer sublimation patches, they're also going to offer sublimation embroidered keychains. So let's just take this for an example. I don't have it in here right yet, but I just wanted you to see. No, you do not want to sandwich these together. I just want you to know this now. They will make sure they do all the work for you. But this is just an example. You will be able to sub on both sides of the keychain. This is great. As you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of MDF keychains because of the chip factor. We're not gentle on our keychains. We throw them and they chip, the MDF. Acrylic is probably next to this my favorite thing, just because acrylic doesn't necessarily chip off a coating. You could still use it, but acrylic can also be tricky when pressing. Cue the fabric ones. That's right. So they can make you key fobs, they can make you keychains, and you can wash them. Like if it gets grungy and dirty, you can actually just wash them in the wash machine, and there you go. But it will be double-sided. I just wanted to show you as an example. So they start out like this. They can come with either a black or a white border. You don't want another color. You don't want to use red. You don't want to use pink or anything like that. Why? Because the thread that they're using is a polyester style thread. So you will actually end up sublimating on it, and it could totally ruin your print. So they're only going to offer a white or a black when it comes to the sublimation ones. Now, if you're looking for a fully custom patch, they are the guys to go to. All three of them let's see, Justin has 28 years in the industry. You've got Jeff, who's got at least 8 years in the industry. You've got Matt, who's got, I think it's like 5 years in the industry, all in embroidery. Really, it's a lot of time. They also teach embroidery. So if you go over to the embroiderynerd.com, you will see their lessons that you can purchase to teach you how to do stuff like this. This is puff right here, right? This is just another added layer. So we're going to make these, all right? And so whether it's a full stitched out patch, they will be able to help you. Or if you want to make your own sublimation patch, again, they will help you. Can they make larger patches? Yes, of course you're going to pay for that cost, but that's okay. They can make this a lot bigger to put it on the back of a jacket. You're just going to use heat and bond. They have a type, I think it's called BSN. It's a kind of heat bond. I will show you how to use this. It is a little bit on the thinner side. So for these patches, you're going to want to do it twice. The heat and bond I've used on other projects that Jeff has sent me, and it worked just fine. So whether you get the BSN or you get the heat bond, either way they will work. And yes, you can use your heat press. And, well, not on this one. You can use your heat press to use a hat press. And that's how simple it is. So give you an example. It takes 60 seconds to press a patch, and it probably takes about 10 to 15 seconds to add it to a hat. Really that easy. Lots of fun. All right, let's get these designs pressed. Head over here to the heat press. Welcome, said New Angle View. You're welcome for that. So he sent me a bunch of stuff to play with because, you know, I have to have all the things. So Jeff sat here. He's like, you really want a gnome? I'm like, did you really ask that question? You really did ask that question. So what do we do when we get fabric? Well, we lint roll. If I could find my lint roller, it'd be great. I got to stop moving my lint roller. I can't be the only one who doesn't keep their stuff in one spot. Okay, so you want to lint roll all of this. It's just, make sure you get it all down right in there. Now, this is a polyester twill in here with a polyester thread. The polyester twill, you can also, and we're going to do this, make a raggy patch out of. They will also be able to make embroidered raggy patches. What is an embroidered raggy patch? Basically, it's, let's take a square for an example. It's a square embroidered mark, and then they leave a little extra on the outside edge so you can fray it. So you still have some embroidery in there. Gives it just your patches a little bit more of a classy look. And there we go. All right, so as you know, when you do sublimation, things don't always appear as they should be on your paper. I could tell you that my poor gnome doesn't look burgundy. So we're going to lay this out. I'm going to tape it down. You guys have told me that you love the new camera angle. I've been trying here. I do listen. Not always. Now, here's the thing with these particular patches, and I've got to answer these questions because I've gotten a number of them already. So with sublimation, you want to have a bleed, and I talked about this earlier in the group. You want to have a bleed that's just slightly bigger than your image, right? It stops it from you goofing it up, right? What is a goof up? Well, when you're laying it down on your paper, sometimes you can slide it to the right, the left, the up, the down. You want to bleed, not a huge bleed, because now you have a spot that you could add more air to. If you have too big of a bleed, if you shift it, it could still look crazy. You might not ever see the white, but it might not line up correctly, and that will bother you as well. So I want to show you what it looks like to have just a slight bleed around that outside edge. It's nothing crazy, right? So, and then as you can see, I'm just taping it down. I'll put some butcher paper over it, and this is how this works. Now, this is the backside. Can you sublimate the backside? No, you cannot. All right, but you can do the front, the entire front for that. There we go. Let me go check the comments real quick because, right, game changer is definitely what's at. You know why this is a game changer? And I love Linda's comment. This is a game changer because it allows for us to have custom shapes. My friend Beverly wants South Carolina. She said to Jeff, hey, Jeff, can we do South Carolina? She asked every vendor, can I have South Carolina? And they all will say, yes, Beverly, we can have South Carolina. So she will be able to have a South Carolina shape embroidered patch. You can't get that in the industry. And the beautiful part is you can order just one if you want. Yes, will it cost you a little bit more because shipping and whatnot? Yeah, naturally. But the fact of the matter is you can have custom shapes. Now, not all shapes can be made into patches. Please keep that in mind. You have to think about if it would be able to be cut for an MDF or acrylic. There are some constraints to it. So dial it back a little bit. See if you can make your image or your outline be worthy of a patch, if you will. And I want to say that not all patches are created equal or that you can do all of them. You absolutely can to a point. So there is that. All right, we're going to lay this down. And I also understand this, okay? Not everybody does embroidery, and I still want pretty things. I miss doing embroidery. I have a single needle, and it's frustrating. Sure, can I make these patches myself? Yes, 100% I can make these patches. But do I want to? No, I'd rather hire it out because people like Jeff Justin, and Matthew have the equipment ready available. I think Matthew has 8 embroidery machines. So if you've got a big job that you need a lot of patches for, they're going to have Matt do it. Matt has a lot. And here's why another reason I love this company. Matthew is currently serving our country. And you guys know without 100% doubt, I love my service men and women. Absolutely love them. I have a bunch of vendors who have served our country. John Stock has served our country. He was in the Navy, retired Navy. We have Aaron, who is retired Coast Guard. I almost said the wrong one. Who's retired Coast Guard. We have Dottie, who is retired Air Force. And now we have Matthew, who is serving with the Air Force. So, you know what? I am absolutely blessed to be able to say I have these people in my wheelhouse. I love our country, and I do love the people that I can help out along the way. So love every one of them. I'm going to lay this down and get this started. Now I have this at the wrong temperature. Hold on. You're going to like, oh my God, Nikki, what are you doing? Oh, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do it anyway. So right now it's at 350. I hadn't let it warmed up enough, but that's okay. We're going to see. I'm going to show you what happens when it's at 350. Great mistake to show you. And then I did it at 60 seconds or 50 seconds, whatever it is. I forgot to let it warm up a little bit more. That's okay. I'm going to show you if it works or not. You're like, Nikki, you're going to double press this. I probably could triple press this and it won't matter. It's not going to show any shadowing, but we'll see if I can sublimate it at 350. I can't believe I did that. Yes, I can. Absolutely. Where do we find the patches? I'm not seeing on their website. So they're not there just yet. We have to wait. Matthew is currently, he had a mini deployment, if you will. So he's out and about in our country somewhere in a fighter jet. I don't know where. I say that. It's not really a fighter jet, but he's out. He's the one that adds the stuff to the website. So just hold tight. They will be added this week. Once Matthew does return, we decided that we would just go ahead and tell you guys about it to get you guys excited about the possibilities. But yes, this week it will be added. Let me just see. Let me let this warm up a little bit more. Don't worry. It'll work. I've done crazier things. So what we are going to do is we're going to go in and add that buckram to the, or that's not buckram, add the BSN to the back. I want to show you that while this warms up a little bit, what you can do. I need some custom patches for my non-crafty business. Exactly. We can, yes, we can forgive Matthew. Let's forgive Matthew. Absolutely. Yes, Beverly does love her South Carolina. All right, so let's, you guys can see it. So how does this work? If you've ever used Heat and Bond, or if you've ever used anything else that's like that, it's really simple. And this was the thing that people were kind of skeptical about. I'm going to show you how I use it while this is still on the warm side. We're going to lay this down. I will add a piece of tape so it doesn't keep flying up. I'm going to slide this off. Don't worry, we're going to repress that. You guys are going to think I'm absolutely crazy, but you know, you're here for it. So while this is heating up, I'm going to do a quick press on this. So all I'm doing is I'm taping this to the, basically this is the BSN, and we're going to tape it to this. I'm going to show you how we're going to do this twice. So I'm going to lay this down. You got to put butcher paper, and I'm going to lay it here. I'm going to hit it real quick. It takes 10 seconds. You're supposed to do it at 280, but I'm going to do it so quick that it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, it's really that easy. Now what I want to do is let it cool down. What? Don't you do a cool down dance? No? Okay, just me? Fine. So then I'm going to peel this off. See, when it cools down, that's the thing. Now, I was showing these off to some friends. I'm like, Nikki, how do I add it and not have it work? Well, here's the thing. This is what it looks like when I've added it. Now, there's the piece of tape there. Don't worry, it won't matter. So I've added it and I've sealed it on, right? Now, I want to leave it right there. I'm going to leave right there. We're going to add that second piece to it because I want to double this up because it is it is a heavier patch, and this is such a light, this particular heat bond type material is so light that you, hold on, please. Losing train of thought. That you want to add 2 layers, that's fine. You absolutely can. We're going to pull that off. Okay. Let it sit. We're going to let it cool. Do your funky cool down dance, because everybody's got one, right? Funky cool down dance. Hold on, I got to pull it up. This is why you put the paper down. Because if it sticks, you're good. Okay. So now I have 2 layers. So, Sandy, you would ask this question. I literally will go in here and just peel this away. Whoops, I got tape here. Hold on. Peel it off. It's nice and thick. I'm going to show you how easy this really is once I get it off the tape. Okay. All right. So I'm going to want to pull this off. Now you could go in with your scissors and do the little trimmy trim. And then I'm going to show you how I use fire, because everybody needs to use fire. And I just kind of melt the rest of this. Super easy. You don't have to be really careful about this. I just want to trim off as much as I can. Then I go in with fire. Let me turn off the fan so I can dye. Hold, please. Because the flame doesn't work with the fan overhead. Okay. I'm going to go in and I'm literally going to melt it around the edge so that it hides all of that little extras. I might want to go in here and trim up this a little bit more because it's there, and I'll show it to you guys a little bit easier. Sorry. I'm still learning the whole zoomy camera angle here, so just bear with me. Okay. So I'm going to go in here, just kind of, what I'm doing is softening it up so that it curls to the edge. It kind of seals the edge too with that. And there you go. Now it is ready for the hat. Okay. Now you're going to go, Nikki, I just saw that on your hat. How did you, because I only put 1 layer on and it doesn't stick while there's 1 layer. While this is getting heating up, I'm going to sit and put this on my hat using my flat press. Yep, that's right. Who doesn't just use a flat press to put their patches on? No, just me? Okay. So I'm going to tape this down. The reason I want to tape it down is I want to make sure it's as centered as I can get it. And it allows for an extra hand. Okay. So now you're going to watch me literally, let me angle this up just a little. You're going to watch me literally put this under my heat press. Give me 1 second. Yes, AKA parchment paper. Use Teflon on the bottom and it won't stick. Nope, I don't want to use the part. I don't want to use that. I want to use parchment paper. I'll explain why. All right. I will answer all questions in just a second. Okay, so here's the thing. I want to talk to you guys. I don't want to use the Teflon on the bottom when I do my stuff. I really like to use the butcher paper or the parchment paper. The reason is I can throw it away and I don't have to sit here and scrub my Teflon if any way, shape, or form. Yes, you can peel it off. Absolutely, you can. I do that a lot of times when I'm doing printed HTV. Absolutely. But for this, I just didn't want to. I really just don't care. I don't want to. I'm usually doing large production runs. I don't want to take the time. So can you? Yes. Do I? No. So there's your answer to your question on that. Now, you're going to watch me literally put this underneath my heat press and hold it. You can get an oven mitt. Go just like this. For those who don't have hat presses, you don't have to have a hat press to put on a patch. Okay? We're going to let it sit, sit, sit. You're just going to hold it. You really want the heat to penetrate through your patch. I'm going to take the tape off now. I like to make sure that it's all nice and sealed. I'll push it down in all the spots. And there you go. And that's it. That's all it takes to put a patch on a hat. You just go in, make sure. Now, when it is cooled is the best time to decide if this is sealed down all the way. Wait until it's cooled. Let the glue do its thing. Okay? It's really that simple. And I will literally go in here and just make sure that all the places, all the little nooks and crannies are pushed down. And then once it's there, it's there. Okay? So there is that. All right, I'm going to head over and see the comments real quick because we've got a bunch of them this morning. So we have over on the Facebook, we had a total off-topic comment, and that was about the board, pressing larger items. You have Teflon sheet down so you can move it better, but I can't find larger Teflon sheets. Amazon is where I got mine. You can buy it by the roll. Let's see. Teflon on the bottom. Yep, already addressed that. Okay, I'm talking about the board method. Nope, that's okay. I knew what you were talking about. I hadn't gotten to your comment, Susan. Patience, my sweet. I get there a little bit at a time. We get there. Let me check over on the, how about pressing a ham when using it as a curve? Oh, a pressing ham. I'm like, what? Sorry, Barbara. Yes, you can. What is a pressing ham? I'm not going to lie. I thought she told me to press a ham. And I was going to go, well, no. So what she's asking for is basically if you have the Cricut hat press, there's this pillow looking thing that kind of looks like a ham. So you can put your hat over it. But when you are using a flat press, that's a little bit harder. I'm not saying you can't. You guys will figure out what you want to do. If you don't want to buy that hat press, but I got to tell you, the Cricut hat press is where it's at. It was well worth my money. It's this cute little tiny thing. Perfect for making hats and sublimating or pressing on your patches with hats. I did over 100 of them using that thing. So, but if you don't have one, you don't have it in your budget to get that Cricut hat press, which is the least expensive one in the market, in the industry, you can use your flat one. You just kind of want to hold it as tight and flat as you can. Use your glove, whatever it may be, and that's how you do it. Please understand that all the stuff that I do teach you here on the SAS is stuff that I've done and used. I'm not saying it's the right or the wrong way. You guys are going to figure out what works for best for you. I just have been doing this long enough to know how I can manipulate my stuff in order to use it so that I can use a quick and easy process. I will show you my fails, all the stuff that goes along with it, like, forgetting to turn your heat press up and pressing patches, where we're going to do it again. Let's try this again. Let me make sure it's on the right side. Perfect. And now we're going to press it again. Yes, the Teflon I get is from Amazon. It's on the roll. It's 36 inches tall by however many feet. I use it for a lot of things. I don't have it sitting right here. I'd grab it for you. I use it for a lot of things. For my boards, extra Teflon sheets. I've made Teflon pillows out of it for pressing pillows. I've done a lot of that with that roll of Teflon. It's definitely something to have in your wheelhouse. And then this way, if your Teflon gets gross and all of that, I will add it to my Amazon affiliate link store. What is my Amazon store? My Amazon store is basically like a Pinterest board, if you will. And all things that I use for my affiliate go back to the tribe for prizes at our Christmas show. So I will add that to the back office of our Amazon stuff so you guys can find the same one that I use. Let it cool down for a hot second. Time, temp, and pressure on these is, well, if you have your heat press at the set right amount there, Miss Shalata. I'm doing it at 95 for 50 seconds on these. You don't have, it's your normal time, temp, and pressure that you would, and it's medium to firm. You don't want to have squish the heck out of me pressure unless you're seeing some white in your, and she's perfect. Love it. Let's go over here. So, honestly and truly, this is where it's going to be at. If Nikki screwed this up, it'll show right here. Why? Because it's black. If you're going to mess up something, black is where your test is going to be. Okay. And they came out, honest to goodness, perfect. Check that out. Honest to goodness, that is perfect. I mean, now I have a Maltese cross patch for my firefighters, and I am so stupidly excited for this. You have no idea. Let me lower it down a little bit. So look at that. That is just, that is awesome. Okay, there's my gnome. I didn't put anything on the sign he's holding. So there's the gnome. It's my fall gnome that you can add. Whether or not you guys use these is up to you. So there's my fall gnome. And then I love this cross. This is probably my favorite one out of my cross line. We have this one. Absolutely love this cross. Right? This will look totally amazing. Let me show you what it looks like on a hat. If we were to, we're not going to double cross this hat, but if you were to put this on a hat, now you can see what it would look like on a hat. I decided to put mine off to the side. Could you put it in the middle? Yes. You could have put this right down the middle. That's the beautiful part about patches. You don't have to worry about the seams. So you couldn't have this big old seam running through the center, or you can have it to the side. You can put it on the bill of the hat. That's kind of a cool feature that you can do with it. So there you go. You're going to ask me, I know you're asking me, Nikki, what's the size of these? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. So they're going to run you about 2 inches, because in embroidery on hats, it's about 2.5 inches for the size of the patch that you need for a hat. Ragy patches are going to run you slightly different just because they're a little bit more pliable. But for patches themselves, you really don't want to go too big because of where it's going to hit on the top. So you really only have this much. And what's also the reasoning is embroidery machines really can't get down too close because of this bill right here, right? So they have a small field, and that's why Jeff decided to do this. So the crosses are measuring at 2.5 inches. Mr. Gnome here, I believe, is also, yep, they're all running about 2.5 inches in height. Let me show you with this Maltese cross, because this is a nice, I mean, that Maltese cross is going to look badass on there. Yeah, I said that on a Sunday. You're welcome. So it's going to look just amazing on a hat. I love the fact that we now have this in our wheelhouse. Again, this is your girl, truly excited. All right, so we have that. Now, I'm going to try to zoom this camera in because I feel like you guys need to see the Ragy Patches. So give me a hot second to zoom that in. I'm going to let the girls answer some questions. If they need you, throw up the links. We have the embroiderynerd.com. You'll be able to find designs for the different shapes, unless it's a custom shape and you need me to do shapes. Then we'll do the shape thing. What you need to have for your stuff is an outline. You know, we talked about that. You need to have an outline for all of your things. And with that outline, if you want me to make designs for it and whatnot, I'm going to need the template. So you're going to have to make sure that you are in touch with, we're going to do this one right here because why not? You want to make sure that you are in touch with Jeff and have Jeff get in touch with me. And for those who missed the big announcement too, what is Nikki's next adventure? Well, as you guys know, as I am a graphics designer, and as a graphics designer, I don't allow anybody to use my stuff when it comes to selling items digitally until now. I have teamed up with Jeff Fuller from Fuller Embroidery Works, and he is going to be able to sell my designs as stock images in his Etsy shop. So you'll be able to go over there and see all the wonderful things that Jeff has. He already has some stuff. Once the girls get the link, they'll throw that link up for you guys to go over to Fuller Embroidery Works. So make sure you guys go over there. If you are into embroidery, he will be using my designs to sell as embroidered files. So that's going to be pretty cool and neat to have. I'm super excited about that part of it. So for right now, you'll be able to go get your patches at the embroiderynerd.com. Now, what else are they going to have on their twill? Let's talk about their twill. So the twill is fully sublimation, and you can get it in white and black, as we all know that you cannot sublimate on black, but you can on white, right? So here's what it looks like. I'm going to cut myself out a rectangle. We're going to press the image, and then we're going to Ragy patch it. First, we need to get the scissors. And not just any scissors, but you know, the scissors. If I can find the scissors. Unless my family took those too. Can't be the only one for the morning. Yep. In case you also didn't know, I have a sticker bucket too that I'm looking through that I kind of just shoved my scissors in. Well, isn't that fun? I guess we're just going to use the regular ones. Don't know where my good scissors went. You put stuff away, you get neat, and then you can't remember where you put it. Okay. So, it's roughly about 5 inches. I'm going to go a little bit longer than that because I'm going to be raggy patching it. Now, this is if you don't want any of the embroidered edge to this raggy patch, right? You don't have to have any of that. So I know it's about a 5-inch design I have over there. I'm going to go about 6 inches because I'll give it an inch overlay. Now, yes, you can be neat and use your rotary cutter, line it all up, make it pretty. But, you know, we don't do that around here. Move this out of the way. It's super thin. I don't even want to say super thin, but it does have, the twill is more like a canvas feel. So it's not super thin. It's just, it's fabric, right? Okay, let's get some butcher paper. I'm going to zoom in this camera because we need to see exactly what I'm doing. Let's see. Zoom it in. And there we go. Look at me go. See, you're welcome. I can get it every now and then. I can get this every now and then. So you don't need to necessarily see me pressing it. It's definitely just an item that you can press normally. It's, you know, it's your normal pressing for fabric. You want to lint roll it, lint roll it, lint roll it. They see me rolling. Sorry. Yep. So make sure you lint roll all of your fabrics. Okay. As you can see, it has already started to fray. All right. Awesome. Lay it down. And then once I lay this down, I'll be able to see how far I want to fray it to. Now, the nice part is when they embroider it, you'll have an embroidered box to know where you're going to put your image in. And then it just kind of stops it from fraying any further because this could fray all the way across. And what it'll do is it'll just kind of give it a finished edge. But again, you guys want to see how I do these things. We're going to tighten this down just a little. There we go. Yes, things that are put in the safe space, right? Because we're all about safety around here. So you want to make sure that it lines up correctly. Again, that's the nice part about having them do a raggy patch embroidered edge for you guys, because then you know where the safe space is. And you know what else too? You know it's going to be a little bit more level and even and centered. There's points to that. Okay. Let's see what we're doing here. We're going to get out. What table are you using? This was a custom made table for me by my almost 91-year-old grandfather and my son. It was a beautiful project between my son and my grandfather that I will cherish for an absolute lifetime. So no, you guys can't get this kind of table. Completely custom made. And definitely a piece of my heart here. So, all right. You know, why didn't it? Do I not have enough pressure? I did put it on the right side, right? Embroidery Nerd. Do I not have enough pressure? It didn't do exactly what I wanted to do. So we're going to make sure I have enough pressure. Because, you know, I might not. We're going to try it again. I've just pressed this twill, so I know it works. Because it's on all of the patches. So I'm not entirely sure why it looks slightly faded. It could be the fact that I didn't have it tight enough. Thank you. I actually have two. So this table, this is actually flooring. This top is flooring. And it has shelves, and the rolling table. So I can move all these tables around. He built me, I say all, he built me two of them. And this is a project, and I will cherish. I cherish everything that my grandfather's ever made for me. And when it comes to all things, right? I lose everything I put in a safe place. Yup, 100%. Heat transfer warehouse sells it by the roll. Awesome. That must have come from either Cheyenne or Jess. I love when they put their name behind it now. See, again, because it comes up as the sassy subber. So let's see how we did here. There we go. See, I didn't add enough pressure. Here's what it is. It goes to show you that even I don't have the pressure 100% all the time. All right, so let's, oh good, I didn't switch the camera over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is called a weeding tool. You could use Justin's tool. We've talked about this, but because it doesn't have like a really pointed edge, it's hard to do a raggy patch with Justin's tool. But you know what? We are going to try it because why not? You usually want to have a really nice pointed edge. Justin's tool does not have, and if you guys don't know what Justin's tool is, it's 3D Puff Pro tool. It's this guy right here. We're going to try it. I'm not going to say it won't work, but you know what? Let's try to see if we can do it. So, I mean, you can get the little fibers off of here using Justin's tool. I'm just so used to using a super pointed tool, but you know what? I guess it is working. Look at me go. Okay. So once you get started, what you do is you just keep, I will pull this back a little bit at a time and you just keep fraying it. Okay. All right, Justin, your tool for the win on this one again. Justin's like, Nikki, how many different things can we use that tool for? I'm like, I don't know. Let's see. So Justin is one of the nerds, and got too crazy here. Okay, so this is how really it's more or less it's time consuming than it is that it's a pain in the butt. Because you have to just try to pull. Now I know there's probably other techniques that people use, but this is the one I use. Again, no right or wrong or indifferent. So here's the thing. Let me see if I got my camera correct on this one. As you can see, I started to raggy. You can make this as raggy as you absolutely want to. Let me lower it down just a little bit. Sorry about that. You can raggy this. I'm going to go on a different camera. You can raggy this as much or as little as you want when it comes to this. But again, as you can see, this is all wonky. You want to sit and just, you'll be able to start to pull these off a little bit easier. Like I said, I'm so used to using my pick tool, but I will tell you the pick tool, if it's got a sharp edge, is going to make it, I don't know how to describe it. It's going to make it funny, but you can use, if you have a Justin's Pro Tool thing, you can use that for this, but there you go. That is exactly what it looks like. See if I can get a better look for you guys on there. Right, Justin's tool for the win. Absolutely Justin's tool for the win. And if you go over to 3dpuffprotools.com and you type in the word sassy, you get 5% off of that. So make sure you guys do that. Please note that by using the code SASSY, it is an affiliate link for myself. Again, anything that's an affiliate link allows for me to buy prizes for the tribe. There we go. So we have these items right here that you are now able to offer all of your people. Custom made patch shapes for sublimation. Right? Those hard to find shapes that you think, I just need to have that shape. Again, you're going to have to sit down with Jeff, Justin, and Matthew. I almost forgot because there's two J's. Okay. The two J's slow me up every time. So if you go head over to the embroiderynerd.com, you can reach out to the guys. They will help you in working through a process of trying to find you some custom shapes that you can use for patches. Now, these are for hats, this particular style. They will be added to their website this week. And they'll add some other patches. Yes, they can have round. Yes, they can have square, octagon, all the basic shapes you can get everywhere else. But for these custom shapes, 100% hands down, that's where you want to go. And like I said earlier, I teamed up with Jeff from Fuller Embroidery Works. And well, when I teamed up with Jeff, he is now able to digitize all of my designs as embroidery. I say all, remember, I did a tutorial. We talked about it earlier this week about how not everything that I design can resonate in embroidery the way I've done it. There are some tweaks to it, but now you have 2 new sources. So you have, for all you embroidery people, you now can use my designs in embroidery, and Jeff has the exclusive rights to be able to do that. So that's pretty cool. Justin will be added on, and so will Jeff or Matthew. So all 3 of the nerds will be on the ticket as exclusive digitizers for my stuff. And then if you head over to the embroiderynerd.com, you will be finding the patches. I will make sure that Jeff lets you guys know when they have been listed as a new tribe vendor. You'll get to find out who Jeff Fuller is and Matthew Enderly. And then you've got Justin Armana. I hope I said that last name right. There you go. They are the Embroidery Nerds. So there you go. Thanks, guys, so much. Yellow. What about yellow? Cool beans. So head over to them. I love the fact that we've now just added an embroidery element to the tribe. It was something that was kind of missing. I knew what I needed to have, and it's been what seems like forever in the making. Totally spot on with all of that. This is probably going to be the quickest sass you have ever seen in your life, and that's okay too. That's what makes it fun. Hello, Mr. Matthew. You'll see Matthew in the comments. He's out traveling the world somewhere. So be patient about having him add those stuff to the website. I know he'll get to it when he can get to it because, like I said, in the hour, he is traveling the world with the Air Force. So thank you so much, sir, for serving our country. We appreciate your service to country. And you know that it's near and dear to my heart. So thank you so much, Mr. Matthew. Let's see, go through any comments, any questions about this that you guys need me to answer, because this is the shortest sass I've ever done in my entire life. And I've been doing this for almost 4 years now. So is there anything more that you want me to talk about when it comes to patches, embroidered patches, and the twill and the Ragy Patches? There we go. I'm supposed to be home, but I'm stuck in England. Oh no, he's stuck in England right now. You know, there could be worse places you could be stuck. I should say that. We are learning. Yes, we are. There you go. There you go. You know what this twill would also make great is for you guys to make branding patches or branding stuff that you can sew into things. This would be something great to use as well, if that's your jam. Let me just double check. All right, I think that's it. That is a wrap. Make sure you guys go head over to the embroiderynerd.com. And as always, you can head over to the Etsy shop for the Sassy Subber at etsy.com/shop/the Sassy Subber. And shameless plug, last call for the Sassy subscription packs. They go off the website on the 25th. If you haven't gotten your tribe pack, I'm going to ask you why you haven't. In this month's tribe pack, you're going to get close to 140 stickers. Plus, you're going to get resale stickers. Yes, that is what we do at our tribe packs now for this year, is stuff that you can use for packaging and or to resale to your clients. So make sure you guys check those out. This month's resale or freebie that you can give out to your clients is the fall truck. That red fall truck that you guys all love. You guys can resell those to people, or you can add them to your packaging as a freebie. Whatever you do with them, completely up to you. Those go off the website on the 25th. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Then you will never have to do it again. And then your tribe pack comes monthly. We also have a DIY project in there from Driven by Graphics Supply Co. That's the DIY project. Plus you get the pin of the month. And of course the candy, right? Because you guys are all there for the candy. This past month, was the toffee you guys had to have, or not toffee, taffy. The taffy that you guys had to have from last year. I found it again this year. So it is the fall taffy that you guys absolutely loved. That was in this last month that just went out. So look forward to that. Thank you guys so much. And thanks to these beautiful ladies who are helping me learn and navigate the new techie stuff that I've been adding to the Sassy Summer SAS, and that is this. These are the 4 ladies who help me behind the scenes each and every Sunday. We have Jess, Jody, Cheyenne, and Amanda who help me behind the scenes at the SAS, at the Sassy Summer, and so much more. So thank them as we do every single morning. I will go back to the comments. Will the twill be available in other colors? Matthew says, yes, they will be. They only have white and black in stock at the moment. Because they have to order in such bulk, it takes them a little bit to get their stock up on the different colors. I will answer that question because I just happen to know the answer. So they have to buy a huge amount of it to get a decent price. We all know how that goes. And that's just one of the perks of being a vendor, right? You got to buy a bulk in order to get it down cost-wise. So right now they have the white and the black. But yes, they do plan on having other colors in the future. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for that. I just got my tool and I'm finding, yes, again, if you don't have one, you need to, and that is the Puff Pro tool. It's used for a lot of different things. So you'll see that a lot on the website as well, or at least on my page. You won't see it on the nerdy. Justin has his own .com for that. So you'll make sure you follow that. So there you go. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. I'll see you guys all next time on the flip side. And this week's Sassy Minis will be about RRM distributors, this guy right here, the 6-inch bench, and the fairy lights. Join me then. Until then, have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye, guys.